Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Thunder and Lightning podcast. We're going to talk about news and our weeks and stuff. It's been a minute but since we've done one of these, for sure. But last couple of podcasts we've been doing it the opposite way we used to do it. So let's talk about news.
Yeah.
I'm going to let you do most of the news. There's one topic that I have a lot to say about.
Sure thing.
So I'll just sort of insert myself into your list whenever it comes up.
Okay. That sounds like a plan to me. Man, how far back do we want to go? Oh, this should be announced. I'll at least start here.
Okay.
3 new Star Wars movies announced, including the return of Daisy Ridley's Rey.
That's right. I just remembered. I took a screenshot that you told me to save so I could read it right now.
Okay.
So let me go find that. It's right here. Director James Mangold will helm a movie set 25,000 years before A New Hope that will tell the tale of the first Jedi to ever wield the Force. So this is not a trilogy, these 3 new movies.
Yeah.
Dave Filoni, who, if you don't know, is the Star Wars guy. He does it all. Will direct a feature set in the same post-Return of the Jedi timeline as The Mandalorian, Ahsoka, and Skeleton Crew. And Miss Marvel director Sharmeen Obaidi-Chinoy will make a film set 15 years after The Rise of Skywalker, centered on Daisy Ridley's character Rey, running a Jedi Academy and rebuilding a new Jedi Order. Something that I can only imagine no one asked her to do.
For one, that. 2, you mean the movie that should have been Force Awakens with Luke Skywalker? That would have been really cool.
Yeah.
You mean they're giving her Luke's old storyline? Cool.
The storyline we saw probably less than 3% of in between Last Jedi and Mandalorian.
Yeah, actually, we saw the most we've ever seen of that storyline was in Book of Boba Fett.
Oh, right, that's right. It wasn't even the Mandalorian. It was the fucking Book of Boba Fett.
But that's neat. I'm glad she's going to get a nice arc.
Yeah.
I'm glad she gets the hero arc that definitely wasn't written for anybody else.
I saw,
Dave Filoni did save Star Wars.
I saw, someone I follow, I believe, let me see if I can find this real quick, because they said something really cool about this that I think I agree with. It should be right here, if not, I'll just move. Oh yeah, here it is. Oh yeah, it was L.I. Joe, the Street Fighter player. Oh, just kidding. That was a different... There we go. As a Star Wars fan, I'm going to say this. I don't hate Rey, and I don't hate Daisy Ridley. What I hate is poor writing for a potentially good character.
Agreed.
With that said, Rey returning to build the Order doesn't bother me as much as long as it's written well. That's all I ask for.
See, that's where I am. It's because it's a sore spot for me because I'm a diehard Luke fan. That's why it's hard for me. I understand if everybody else is just like, cool, hope it's good. I
think a lot of people are, as the internet usually goes, is like, fuck Daisy Ridley.
I have no issue.
Sucks.
I have no issue against Daisy Ridley. Rey does not deserve the arc that Luke should have got. Where my head's at.
I'm with you. The only thing that's like giving me solace is the fact that this is clearly her doing, like, she's doing this because of Luke.
Yeah,
like, she's finishing what he tried to do.
No,
and I feel like she's gonna like make mention of that a lot.
You can only hope. I guess that's
like Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Right. I guess that's what it comes down to for me. Is it depends on how much up the sequel's own ass that movie is gonna be. 'Cause if it can acknowledge. If the writing team for that movie can acknowledge that now might be a bit of a sensitive time to be super hype about sequel shit, and maybe kind of focus on the new era of Star Wars after the sequels.
Whatever that may be.
It's the Mandalorian, whatever you want to call what we're in right now.
Well, that's what how they put it is the post-Return of the Jedi universe.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Like, because the Mandalorian takes place like right after Return of the Jedi. Like, good guys are good again, and like, you know, and we've got like a good 20, 25 years
Yeah.
before Force Awakens, right?
Yeah.
Something like that.
I just hope it's good. I guess that's where my head's at. And if it's not, then maybe we let the sequel arcs die for a bit. Maybe we put a pin in sequel arcs for a hot minute.
I think that these 3 new movies are a good idea.
The other 2, I'm super excited because we're gonna see the Darksaber.
Well, see,
which is exciting. Like, we're gonna get the story behind the Darksaber, hopefully, in that first
Right.
movie you talked about.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I think it's a smart idea that they're not doing like the next trilogy.
Oh, absolutely.
Because one of these movies takes place in a time period that everyone loves, and we most recently visited the Mandalorian, Ahsoka post Ahsoka TV show, post Return of the Jedi,
Smart call.
years, one of them is more tied to the sequels, for better or for worse, and one of them is something completely different. I feel like there was a lot of I think that Rogue One and Solo releasing in between the 2 mainline movies was a bad idea because it was just a lot of Star Wars, and this definitely gives me the vibe of we'll do a TV show movie, we'll do a sequel to the sequels, and we'll do some Rogue One weird spin-off shit. And that'll be our next 3 movies. And I kind of really like that.
No,
I think
it's a smart call.
I think
for
it's
sure.
gonna be a smart decision, I think.
And the other 2, I have no qualms with, no complaints. I'm really excited for both of them. They gotta tread lightly if they're gonna bring sequel characters back because they flunked at least 2 out of 3 of those films, as far as the public is concerned. Kind of didn't do so hot.
Yeah.
And almost kind of put an end to Star Wars for a hot minute until the galaxy's favorite and very own Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau showed up and said, hey, see all that shit, but what about Boba Fett? And what about Mandalorians? Wouldn't that be cool?
Do you care about Boba Fett? I guess I do, Dave. I guess I do.
Just kind of. If you say so, we'll try it. And then it was awesome.
It was it was awesome. It was fine. It was kind of boring, the Book of Boba Fett.
No, I'm talking about the Mandalorian.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying the sequels come out, and they're like, what do we do? Literally, there's flames behind them. They're like, do you guys like Boba Fett?
Oh.
Do you remember Boba Fett? What if we had a guy who looked like him?
Sorry, you confused me because there's
No, I know. There's a
Fett
Book of
TV
Boba
show.
Fett. No, I know. No, but they were like, that was clearly their way of being like, what can't fail? What can't
Oh,
fail?
yeah. No, exactly.
And somebody was like, a Mandalorian show? Yes! You're right. They'll love it.
I think, see, and we'll talk about Mandalorian a week from now when we do our cinematic release.
Well, where we're at with the Mandalorian is a little different than when it came out. The first season of
Right.
Mandalorian was
Yeah.
it was cool. And the second
I think that whoever said, what if there was a baby version of Yoda, got a big bonus that week. A well-deserved bonus.
Have you seen any of the behind-the-scenes and documentary stuff about that? There were some shitty mock-ups of what Grogu could have looked like. Some bad ones. And it's like, wow, I'm glad they waited and took their time to figure out the final form of this thing.
Well, I think with something like that, you really have to decide, is this thing going to be a baby version of Yoda, or is it going to be a cute, merchandisable baby version of Yoda?
Right. I'm really excited. I don't think even in our real-life lifetime we're going to see this, but I'd really love to see that thing mature a handful. The puppet itself has gotten bigger over the course of the few seasons.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, just the very slightest. They've
Okay.
made adjustments so it's a little bigger. Because if you go back to season 1, episode 1, it's a nugget. It's
Okay.
this big.
Okay.
And now he's
All right.
this big.
I believe that.
Yeah, sorry, that was
No, that's okay. Yeah,
not
what else we got?
nearly all
Let's
the
stop
news.
talking about Star Wars.
John Leguizamo is boycotting
God.
the Super Mario movie.
Oh, this is right. I keep
They
forgetting
messed
we're-
up the inclusion. Shut the fuck
Sure
up.
they did. I'm sure they did.
Nothing again. First of all, inclusion is very important. We've talked about
of
this.
course,
If you
yeah.
want my opinion specifically on it, we have a whole
One of my
video
favorite
essay
video
about
essays on this channel.
it is very important.
It's called
Storytelling in cinema.
diversity in storytelling.
Diversity in storytelling is what it's called.
It's got Wonder Woman and Black Panther on the thumbnail.
This asshole doesn't give a shit about that.
No,
he just wants you to remember that he was
5 minutes of fame. He played Luigi once, and he's fucking so bitter that this movie is gonna make like 16 times more than his shitty over budget piece of shit, and they didn't invite him back to do it.
Right.
Because obviously, why would have they?
Right.
That's
that's what pisses me off is the fact that, for one, if you watch my video essay, I have reasons why I don't agree with him. There's new characters they could have made that are have different ethnicities that, like, yeah, make new characters, make them different ethnicities, put them in the movie. I'm so down with that. But, like, he was the first stupid-ass thing he said. He was like, what if Mario was black? And it's like, but why?
yeah.
Is there a story because he's from Brooklyn? The Bronx? No, he's from
He's
Brooklyn.
from Brooklyn.
Is
They
that
play
why?
the Beastie Boys song in the movie.
Right.
Because fuck it.
I don't know. He pisses me off because, for one, he's just spouting off buzzword nonsense.
No, he's been in the news
Just
a lot
to-
lately,
yeah.
and the only thing he's been in the news for is like saying bullshit like this in interviews. I saw one. Have you seen The Menu? I think we talked about it.
We've talked about it. I
you
haven't seen it
yeah.
yet.
He was in that movie, and he plays a washed up actor. And I saw an interview with him where he was like, I based my character not on myself because I'm not a washed up actor. I based my character on Steven Seagal because I hate that fucking asshole. Apparently, Steven Seagal beat the shit out of him on set once. Sounds like Steven Seagal's a full blown psychopath.
Oh, I think we all knew that.
But yeah, I was just like, here's my big overarching issue with John Leguizamo right now. Every time he's in the news, my brain is like, that's not news.
Oh yeah, no, that's exactly where I'm at. Pauline says, "Oh, The Menu. Are you questioning the show? Are you asking us about the show,
or are you asking to see the menu? Because I don't actually have.
We actually do, if you want. It's we do have a menu of things she can pay for right now,
but not food.
No.
The Menu is a horror film with Anya Taylor-Joy, Nicholas Hoult, and Ray Fiennes,
and John
John
Leguizamo.
And the science teacher from High School Musical and musical series.
You know what? I'm gonna pass this one.
Wait,
for
why?
sake of time. For sake of time.
Is it Spider-Man related?
No.
Okay. Don't skip that one.
No, it's the film that well, yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm gonna skip that one for time as well.
Okay.
I'm gonna forfeit.
I trust you.
Forfeit for time.
I trust you. Oh well.
You can always forfeit.
You could always forfeit. Did you know?
Millie Bobby Brown announces engagement to Jake, very Italian, Bonjovi.
Okay.
Bonjovi.
Okay.
Bon Jovi.
Okay.
Bon Jovi?
John Bon Jovi?
It's Bongiovi. Bong Jovi.
Oh.
Bon Jovi? Bon Jovi.
Millie Bobby Brown announces her engagement to John Bon Jovi would be like the worst, most upsetting news article, like headliner in human history.
Millie Bobby Brown Bon Jovi is going to be her new name. Millie Bobby Brown Bon Jovi. Look at this name. You tell me how you pronounce this name.
Yeah, man. Oh yeah, it's literally Bon Jovi. Bon Jovi. John Bon Jovi. Someone fucked up. Someone was like, "What if we named him John?" And
no, his name's Jake.
Oh, I thought you said John.
I might have by accident, but his name's Jake.
His name is Jake. Okay, never mind.
Death Clock and Baby Metal announced new tour. Also,
Hell
Metalocalypse is getting a new movie, which is cool and exciting, and a new album.
Hell
So
yeah.
some sort of deal fell through with Adult Swim. Wonder why?
Some
Maybe because
sort
they
of-
missed Rick and Morty.
Some sort of licensing thing happened in favor of the people who it seems like should have had it.
That was absolutely them chasing down their old IPs to be like, we might lose our meal ticket here. What else do we have? Oh, that's right. Everybody's been bitching for 8 years about that one.
Is it really? Is Jake Bon Jovi really Bon Jovi's son? Is that real? Are you? Hold on. This requires. Hold on.
Oh, hold on.
Is that why he's called John Bon Jovi? Because he like Americanized it? Hold on.
That would make a lot of sense.
Relatives. Children. What are your children? How many? Tell me. Personal life? Children? Oh my God, his middle son Jake is engaged to actress Millie Bobby Brown right there. So it is Bon Jovi.
That's funny.
It is Bon Jovi's kid. Well, thank God that she's marrying his kid and not him, because he's 61.
Yeah, that makes our whole what if thing a little bit creepier. Unintentionally, we didn't mean to make it like that, but like
good for Jake for being like, no, I'm gonna use the original family name.
The Italian version of the name.
That's funny.
Rebooted Harry Potter show will run 10 years.
Yeah, sure it will.
With J.K. Rowling on as executive producer.
Yeah, sure it will, J.K. Sure it will. Sure it'll run 10 years. You can say whatever you want. Willow was supposed to run 3 years.
So is this supposed to be just a? So it's a remake.
It's the books again,
yeah.
but in 10 long transphobic seasons.
Why are they going hard on pissing me off with that franchise? Why is it they picked the dumbest shit to make more movies about? They're like, let's make 15 of them. Who gives a shit? Let's just keep making them. And then they were like, you know what people want? They want more Harry Potter. Wait, what if we made new storylines, new arcs, new characters, maybe Harry's son? And then they're like, shut the fuck up. He's fired. Make the movies again, but it's a TV show. Everybody's doing TV shows.
Yeah,
make a TV show.
Lately, it's just been like, and Harry Potter's not that old of a book, but lately there's really been a lot of like, how can we make more money off these old-ass books that
without making anything new?
That we've already made like shit out of.
Here's the thing. If it wasn't for the fact that I'm sure it's gonna be phenomenal, I really would have no interest in watching it. Want me to?
They always shoot themselves in the foot immediately. Hogwarts Legacy did this too. It was like announcing a new Hogwarts MMO. It's gonna be written by J.K. Rowling, and it's like, okay, then I'm not gonna buy it. Stop. You don't have to like. She wrote it all already.
Yeah.
Adapt her shit if you want. Like, let's stop complaining about the fact that they're remaking it or whatever. If you want to make this book series into a TV show, go for it. Do it without her.
No, I hear you. Absolutely.
Because guess who wasn't on the writing team for the Lord of the Rings movies? J.R.R. Tolkien. And guess what? Those movies were fantastic. You don't need the person there to write the thing for you.
I'm wondering though if there's a clause in whoever owns the IP. It might just be her, but I wonder if she's constantly like, you can use it. I need to be on the team.
That would make sense because she's been a part of literally everything. So that would make sense. I feel like the first Fantastic Beasts movie didn't have anything to do with her. I could be wrong though. I don't care. Let's move on to something else.
I never thought that it'd be so simple, but Drake Bell found after reported missing. So that's nice. By the way, he was reported missing and endangered.
Yeah, but he's fine?
He's fine.
Cool. Is he not in jail?
The plot thickens. No, he...
So white people just don't go to jail. That's what I'm learning.
I think he was... he was acquitted, I'm pretty sure, of the charges.
What does that mean? Sorry. He's still guilty, but he isn't guilty?
No. I'm sorry. He wasn't acquitted. He got in trouble. He's a registered sex offender, right. And I forget what the punishment was he got, because they never had sex or anything. He had inappropriate conversations with a minor,
right,
via text or what have you.
Right.
So he had to do a lot of shit but I don't think he got jail time for that.
Oh, okay.
There might not have even been pictures exchanged or shit like that. I think they were literally just inappropriate text messages. So he's a registered sex offender, which he should be. I'm not defending him,
No,
by
of
the
course
way.
not. Of course not.
I'm just saying, like, I don't think what he did was, like, I don't know how much of it was privilege versus how much of it was, how much can we give him for this?
Right.
Yeah. But
so
if I may, the plot thickens with this story.
well, real quick, Pauline says, didn't he get parole?
He
That
got
could be-
parole for a few things because he got arrested a while back for something else. He spent
Right.
2 days in jail. I think it was a DUI. I think
Yeah,
he was
it was-
driving,
yeah.
and he drunk driving.
No, I remember
He got like 200 hours for some shit. He had
Yeah.
to.
200 like community service.
Yeah,
hours or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah. But this one, I think he's might also be on parole, but also he's like registered sex offender.
I mean, yeah.
Whole time it sounds like his wife. Oh, actually, because I was waiting to get home last night, because the plot thickens.
Okay.
A week after, that was a week ago, he went missing, was found same day. Whatever.
Okay.
They haven't
So
gotten.
this story's a week after he was found.
Yeah.
Okay.
Drake Bell's wife files for divorce 1 week after missing in danger. So she's,
Well,
in my head, was like, so she stuck around through all that shit. He goes missing for a couple hours, and that's what did him in. I guess they've been separated since last September,
oh, okay.
and it sounds like this was it.
Got it. Okay.
Ooh, ow.
Well,
I'm
that
okay.
That guy sucks. So fuck him.
No, yeah, whatever. Meowth's voice actor is retiring from the Pokemon anime due to cancer.
Oh no.
I know.
Oh, I didn't hear about this. That sucks.
That does suck.
But like perfect timing to
Well,
retire,
that's
right?
exactly what Pauline said, but here's my thought. I got a few things to say about this.
Okay.
First, most importantly, that sucks. Hope he's okay.
Yes, of course. He or
He.
He. Okay.
Yeah, I got a picture of him right
Got
there.
it. Okay. Wasn't who? He looks like a.
He does, right?
Yeah.
He kind of looks like Meowth. It's crazy.
Kinda looks like Meow. It's kind of fucking me up.
Here's, because it doesn't say that son of a bitch should already be retired. He should no longer have a job. What that tells me is he's not retiring like the whole cast isn't retiring because their version of the anime's over. It sounds like Team Rocket was like probably still planned to remain a part of this.
Oh, okay.
Because why would that be the cause of retirement? Why wouldn't
Could you read the headline again?
Yeah.
Real quick.
Meowth's voice actor is retiring from the Pokemon anime due to cancer,
Oh, okay.
not
See,
due
yeah.
to lack of a
See,
job in a couple months.
I wanted to make sure it says retiring from because worded differently, it could be like the guy who voiced Meowth, who's still voice acting, is retiring from voice acting, but that clearly states that he was going to remain on the show. and now he
Exactly.
can't.
That's where because Pauline was like, "Oh, perfect timing," and you said, "Oh, perfect timing,"
Yeah.
and I'm sitting here like, I agree, like, but it sounds like Pokemon doesn't agree.
Yeah.
It sounds, which like with this new anime, because me and Pauline are watching through it all right now.
Yeah.
I am so burnt out on Team Rocket.
Oh, I bet.
They're kind of becoming the worst part of the anime. Sometimes they're nonplussed. Sometimes they're a little cool. Most of the time they're annoying. And it's because they just kind of interrupt cool storylines because they
Right.
need to be in like every episode.
When
I really don't want Team Rocket to continue in the next.
question for you,
Arc.
person who's currently watching this, when it's like go time, when Ash is like 4 episodes into a 9-episode tournament, they fuck off, right? They're not like still
They're in every single fucking episode.
right, but they're not like ha ha ha. Now your match is interrupted by us. Now the same match is interrupted in the next episode.
We haven't gotten into long enough because so far every tournament's been wrapped up in 1 or 2 episodes, and yes, they'll show up in both
well, not
episodes.
not the finale of 1, right? Isn't that like a 10-episode thing where he like?
He's leading up to it for 10 episodes. He's not in the tournament for 10 episodes, I don't think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think everything's been wrapped up in 1 or 2 episodes so far.
Okay. I think when you get to the finale of Johto is when you really get into the like Yu-Gi-Oh length.
Good.
like,
That's what I'm excited for.
like-
That's what I want to see.
I specifically remember the Blaziken fight being like 3 episodes, I think, for one fight.
That's awesome. I'm there for it. That's kind of what I'm watching Pokemon
And
for.
like, if Team Rocket wants to be in the background fucking off during those, that's fine. But like, if they're like interrupting a fight multiple times, like, yeah, that seems exhausting.
Yeah, well, yeah. Right now, Pokemon, I feel like there's going to be a moment where Pokemon goes from filler episode after filler episode about these cool little things we want to sell a bunch of cards and toys about to let's give it a nice storyline. Right now, I feel like we're getting Ash is going to learn a lot about friendship in this episode, and in the next one, he's going to learn about why you shouldn't steal this. And I'm waiting for it to turn into Ash has got to train fucking Bulbasaur because this shit's going to get wacky in a minute.
I don't know much about everything after May and Max, but I've been told that part 6, the part where they're in a Kalos, but more so in part 7, the part where they're in Alola, it starts to become a real anime.
That's what I'm waiting for.
Where it's like a consistent storyline of like Ash has a goal and he's going to try to achieve it over the course of 50 episodes.
Yeah, that's what I'm waiting for. I'm down for these lesson learning filler episodes to get to the next tournament. For now, Team Rocket's making it difficult.
Yeah. No, I feel that.
Moving on though,
what else we got?
Venture Bros movie is finally happening.
Nice.
And there's officially a clip for it.
Hell yeah.
Funny enough,
Gotta love it.
totally unrelated to the fact that happened, like 2 weeks ago, I started rewatching that show.
Oh, cool.
And I really love the Venture Bros.
Yeah, exactly. Just gotta watch a couple 100 episodes first.
Right, yeah. There's 2 issues with the Venture Bros. If you can see past it, I think you would absolutely love it.
Okay.
Keeping in mind this came out very early 2000s. They use the R word
Okay.
a lot, which bothers me.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't care. I don't like the use of that word.
It's not that I don't care, it's just that I expect it from that era.
Right.
Of,
no, exactly.
Of comedy. Like, I'm not going to sit here and like give them a pass
Mm.
because it's still not okay, but I am like sitting here like, yeah, and there it is.
The first 2 seasons aren't homophobic, but they use gay a lot.
Oh, okay.
A lot. It's not always like, oh, you like men? Ooh, what a F
No,
word.
but they're using like gay.
Oh,
as,
that's gay.
Gay as.
Oh, this is
stupid.
gay. Yeah. And that's also an eye roll. But the storyline gets so fucking cool. I really like what they do with superheroes. It's my hero.
You've explained this to
Okay,
me.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Because we saw some cosplayers at Anime Boston. So
Yeah.
You gave me the whole spiel on what this show is.
Oh, it's just really cool. That's all the news that I have.
That's all the news you have?
No,
Cool.
except I didn't take a picture of it, but you want to talk about what's coming to Disney Plus, I assume.
Sort of. So
Okay.
this, I feel like, is typically one of those news stories that we just like, so this is happening, and then we'd move on. But it's going to transition nicely into something else that I wanted to talk about. And I haven't seen anyone on the internet talking about this. So allow me to...
Yeah, give me the lowdown.
So they just announced that some, but not all, Spider-Man movies are coming to Disney Plus, and it's a weird selection. It's all 3 Tobey Maguire films, the first Andrew Garfield one, and Homecoming, the first Tom Holland one. The latter 4 are coming out today, and the Homecoming is coming out May 15th or something like that. And it feels like, to me, that they pulled the plug on this early on purpose. Because wouldn't it have been cool if this announcement was all 8 Spider-Man movies are going to be on Disney Plus, right? It feels like they were like, we have to do this early. Let's announce these ones. We'll get them out there. We won't wait for the other ones to be there. To distract people from the fact that there's a different Marvel movie that should be coming to Disney Plus right about now that is inconspicuously absent from the lineup, and that is Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. There's no plans to put that on Disney Plus right now. If you want to purchase this movie, you can do that on Vudu or on the Xbox Marketplace or from Redbox or whatever, but you can't watch it streaming. And I can only imagine that the reason that is because the main villain is played by an actor who they have signed on to play like 14 different villains across the next like 8.5 movies, who, as we all know, recently beat the shit out of a woman, allegedly, possible multiple women, not getting into that right now. And I do want to talk about that for a bit. Pauline and I talked about it briefly went on our podcast because the news had just broken. But essentially, actor Johnathan Majors allegedly beat up a woman. I think it was a woman he was romantically involved with. Doesn't matter. More people have come out saying that they also were abused by him. Allegedly. It's all allegedly. He's going to court soon, early next month. But yeah, recently he's been dropped by his team. He's been dropped by his management team. He's been dropped by his agent. They took him out of the Dallas Rangers ads because he's from Dallas. He was kicked off of a movie that he was going to star in and produce. I forget what it's called. Forgive me, but that was going to be like his project with his like management's production company. He's not doing that anymore. So he's being dropped from all these things. But Marvel has been so frighteningly quiet, and I think Marvel, and for a better like Disney, I think Disney is trying to, for the first time ever, like wait and see what happens, because I feel like they really jumped the gun, no pun intended, canceling James Gunn and pulling Johnny Depp from things. There was supposed to be a third Alice in Wonderland movie that we'll now never get because Johnny Depp was, as soon as Amber Heard said that he beat her up or whatever that court case was, that month-long court case was about, they pulled him from everything. The second he was canceled, right? They pulled him from everything. So I think they're trying to, like, because he must have such a stone-cold contract, because Marvel loves to do this. They love to put all their eggs in one basket. They put all their hands on the table. You were just talking about this. We know what the next 2 Avengers movies are called. The 5th Avengers movie is going to be called Avengers Kang Dynasty.
Right.
You can't cut this character out. Even just between Loki season 1 episode 6 and Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, spoilers, but he's played like 9 different characters already. He's supposed to be a big deal. He's like literally the next Thanos. And Mickey Mouse is mad and he's being quiet about it. And I'm terrified. Whenever Mickey Mouse is this quiet, I'm like, oh my God. Just say when you're going to, just do it if you're going to do it, Mickey. And I'm like, obviously, in a perfect world, he's innocent. And he didn't beat this woman up and he gets to be Kang forever. I really don't think that's going to happen. It seems like he did it. I'm not picking sides.
I hear what you're saying.
It really does seem like he did it. He's going to trial very quickly, which is might be the reason why Marvel is being so quiet about it, because they're like, okay, well, if this is going to get resolved soon, we'll just wait for our. But like, it really feels like if he wasn't Kang, if he was signed on to be like Mr. Fantastic, or if he was signed on to be like the new Professor X, I feel like they'd kick him off immediately.
Oh, yeah.
But the fact that he's going to be the next Thanos, he's going to be in everything, playing multiple roles across the next decade, they can't just like, oh, we'll replace him.
They'd like to not do that.
Right, exactly.
I think what you're talking about, it's all really good points. Real quick pin, I'm going to pull that pin out in a second. And get back to what we were just talking about, but we're not even, this is so in-depth and I want to talk about, we're not even talking about the fact that Sony let Disney have all the Spider-Man movies to put
oh my
on
God.
Disney
no,
Plus.
I know.
Which is a whole other conversation.
Yeah.
That's literally just them kneeling to Disney. I can only hope that they're making a good amount of money off of that deal.
Someone also, before we take the pin back out, someone also brought up a good point. Does this mean that the 2 Venom movies and Morbius are going to be on Disney Plus?
Yeah, no, exactly. How deep does that
right, exactly.
go?
How deep does this? Yeah. But
that's very chummy compared to 2 years ago. But yeah, sorry. Back on this track. I think what we're seeing is Disney learning. I think they canceled James Gunn immediately for something stupid. Then
he made one pedophile joke on Twitter 16 and a half years
right.
ago, and they were like, "Fuck off!
Right,
you're off the project, Gunn." And he's like, "Okay, I'm gonna go fix DC."
Yeah, and
and while I did that, they were like, "Hey, buddy, do you want? We're sorry. You want to come back and do it?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure, whatever. I don't care."
Well,
I never cared.
They were
James
like,
Gunn.
"Hey, will you come back and at least finish what you started?" And he was like, "I'll do that," and then never anything ever again for you guys. Because honestly, in the class move from him, he was like, "The fans deserve the short in the movie that I'm gonna make."
Right.
And then you guys can fuck off. I'm gonna go run your competitor's company and really. He literally was like, Christ. Marvel was like Apollo Creed, and he's like training. He's what's his name? Rocky's trainer.
Rocky's trainer. Oh, Mick.
Yeah, he's literally Mick. He's like, all right, we're gonna get you in shape. We're gonna kick their ass. That's what he's doing right now. But
speaking of Apollo Creed, his illegitimate son recently went toe to toe with Johnathan Majors. The topic of our discussion.
Yeah, holy shit. Way to bring it. Kang isn't Rhodey. Wait, what?
Yeah, I
Kang
didn't get that
isn't.
either. I'm not quite sure what you mean.
Oh, he means like Rhodey as in War Machine.
Oh yes, no, exactly. Yeah. War Machine was so. Even that all took place within Phase 1.
Yeah.
Like Iron Man 1 comes out, it's Terrence Howard. Other stuff happens. He's a crazy person. They drop him, replace him with Don Cheadle for Iron Man 2, which came out before Avengers 1. Like that all happened so quickly, so early in this whole endeavor.
But I think what we're seeing is Disney is learning. They made a mistake with James Gunn. They made a huge mistake with James Gunn, one that we haven't even seen. Literally,
right.
he's in the middle of his he's currently making his revenge bod via all of DC right now against Marvel.
They let James Gunn go just long enough for him to get tied down to enough contracts that Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was probably delayed like a full 4 years.
Oh yeah, but they made that mistake once. They then made it immediately again with Johnny Depp. Who, like, they're just losing a lot of decent names because they were quick to pull the trigger. I think they're making the responsible choice. They're staying silent on the matter. Yeah. They're not making a conclusion until they hear the facts.
Right.
That's the way it should work. Even if it's cut and dry, I think we as the public shouldn't shame them for waiting. I think we should understand that they're making the responsible choice. No, I know you weren't.
Okay.
No, I know you weren't. But I feel like the fact that we're sitting here wondering why hasn't Disney said anything is just testament to what the public expects. And what the public is expecting is mob justice immediately.
Right.
Disney's saying, why don't we wait? And guess what? If he's guilty, we're obviously going to get rid of him.
Yes, yeah. Well,
obviously.
It's just what you expect. Because when I said Mickey's being quiet and it's scary, it kind of is scary. Every couple days there's new Johnathan Majors news, and it's like, wow, he was dropped from this movie and this TV show and his publicist. Holy shit. Has Marvel spoken yet? And they're like, no, Marvel still hasn't said anything.
You know why? Imagine had Disney stayed silent on the Johnny Depp trial. Imagine had they stayed neutral. They'd look like fucking heroes right now. It would blow up. Fucking Mickey Mouse is shaking hands with Johnny Depp outside of the courthouse, and they're like, "Ready for the next Pirates movie, Johnny?"
No,
fuck
yeah. That would be like a day one after the trial announcement of Pirates 6 starring Johnny Depp. Because as it currently stands, they are in a 5-year long landslide down a snowy hill. from a Goofy cartoon trying to figure out what to do with Pirate
Right,
6.
yeah. And they're finally learning. And I hope this is a turn in the right direction for this type of situation. I think holding people accountable, obviously important. The fact that if this guy is found guilty of doing this stuff, cancel him. Get rid of him. There's no reason to have abusive people like that in the industry. However, this mob justice mentality of kick him while he's down before we find out if he did it or not is not okay. I hope this is a turn in the right direction of why don't we wait till a decision's been made.
And we're not going to hear, I don't think we're going to hear either way on that part of it from Marvel. I think literally, like, if he's found guilty, Marvel's going to be like, and that's that.
Absolutely.
And if he's found innocent, which, once again, I really don't think he will be, but everything's alleged right now. If he's found innocent, they just won't say anything.
Yeah,
you know,
just move on like nothing happened.
There's no reason to announce what you just said. There's no reason. Like, it's gonna happen what you just said, but there's no reason for them to be like, "That's right, we didn't fire him."
Right.
And now we're going to fly up into space because we're the best production. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Just react accordingly. It seems like you're already doing that, reacting accordingly by doing nothing right now.
Yeah.
I was worried because the Johnny Depp trial took like 2 full years.
Well, that's a different story. That's a different story. I think if you're Disney and Johnathan Majors is a Johnny Depp situation where it's like, shit, man, I don't know. We're not going to figure anything out for 2 years. I think they say, well, then we're putting a pin in Kang, and I guess like X-Men not being in Infinity War, Kang isn't going to be in the next few films. So you figure your shit out.
I mean,
you delay the major Avenger movies, I guess, is what you do.
Well, now we get into the question of, like, Loki 2 wrapped filming like a full year ago. And Johnathan Majors is all up in that.
Right.
That
shit's going to get released. They spent too much money to
Loki
not.
Loki 2 is going to come out in the next couple months.
Yeah. It's gonna come out.
So, like, what would you do if you were Marvel?
You just release it
as is.
You just release it. We spent the money. It's gonna come out.
Have fun with Kang. This is the last you'll see of him
for a while. Yeah. This is the last of Kang you're gonna see till things are figured out. That's what I would do if I was Marvel. I just wonder, you obviously replace him. We're not even talking about that. He's found guilty. You find a new Kang. You've already set up the plot line enough that you need him.
You know, don't redo the whole movie, obviously, but, like, spoiler alert for the new Ant-Man. That after the credits scene, they could totally reshoot that with a new Kang actor. Maybe leave the whole movie alone, but, like, you know.
If you really need to, I would get over it. They cast a new Kang.
You mean as a fan?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would get over it too, but it's just like, yeah, I don't know.
Oh, did you hear her?
Yeah, no, you're good. You're good.
Okay.
Don't because what we were talking about before. It might be the other cat, possibly.
Do you want me to open it?
No.
Okay. But I have a moral dilemma I want your advice on, and I would also like Stream's advice.
Sorry, yeah, Mason brings up a perfect point, and then there's whatever DC is doing with Ezra
Miller. Yeah, that's just fucked up. First of all, nobody needed that Flash movie. That Flash movie that's going to have nothing to do with your entire series come a year and a half.
That Flash movie, I know that you haven't seen most of the new DC stuff since Man of Steel, but, like, that Flash movie is doing everything that a Flashpoint movie should do. It's visiting things from this movie and this movie. It's rewriting this. And then after it does that, we're going to do other shit with James Gunn.
Yeah.
Because he had other plans in this Flash movie. Is not going to, like, I just don't understand, like, I don't know. But bringing Ezra Miller into the Johnathan Majors conversation, and I've talked about this before, now we're talking about white versus black. Now we're talking about Ezra Miller's fucked up, and he, like, nothing happened to him. And the second something happens to Johnathan Majors, it's like, everyone stop. We've got to figure this shit out.
Well,
but Ezra Miller still gets to
Isn't he also an Eternal who survived?
Ezra Miller? No.
Oh,
is he Eternals? No.
Is he? Okay. I get him in he's got a weird name. I can't remember his name.
The guy who was like a dickhead Eternal,
Yeah.
who the mind control one.
Yes.
That was not Ezra Miller.
Okay.
That was some other dude.
Okay, sorry. He's in okay, this might also be Eternals guy. He's in Beasts and Where to Find Them.
That's Ezra Miller.
Okay, that is Ezra Miller. Okay.
Ezra Miller plays Credence in Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Him, who, as far as I can tell, is like has Voldemort in his butthole or some shit. I don't care about the shitty movies. Yeah, it's just and I'm not sitting here like Johnathan Majors and Ezra Miller both deserve jail time, but I'm definitely sitting here saying like, why did the Batgirl movie that was finished but wasn't gonna make money, I guess, or something, not release, but Ezra Miller's Flash movie that's been in production hell specifically because he's a public shithead is still coming out with him in it twice.
I guess it could be a race thing. I understand that shit happens. I can't conceptualize why it would happen because I genuinely don't think that way. But yeah, you could totally be right. It could be because of race. He sucks. I don't understand why that Flash movie came out. Could it be because he's white? Yeah, it could be. I don't understand why. I don't understand why.
I just feel like I don't know. I just feel like in this specific situation, it feels like
you could totally be right.
They've done shit like this before. It feels like Hollywood is being more lenient. You know, DC.
You could totally
DC is like, oh, what did Ezra Miller do? A bunch of whack shit that he should totally get canceled for. I mean, he signed on for the Flash movie. Don't redo the contract. Fuck it. We'll still make it.
That Flash movie is an enigma to me. I don't know why it came out. It probably tanked. I don't know the numbers for it, but it couldn't have.
It hasn't released yet.
Oh, it hasn't released yet.
No, it's I think it's coming out in July. Hold on, I have it on my movie list.
I can only imagine it's gonna get boycotted more than any superhero movie has in a long, long time. And
it's coming out June 16th.
I don't understand why it's still getting released for multiple reasons.
Yeah.
Multiple reasons.
The biggest one isn't even Ezra Miller. The biggest one is the Batgirl James Gunn argument of like, why still make this?
The
Who
biggest
cares?
Right, exactly. That's the biggest argument is why aren't all like 3.5 projects that are left canceled and just start over?
The only thing this movie has going for it, as far as I'm concerned, is the fact that James Gunn, and maybe they told him to say this, but I get the feeling when James Gunn talks that he's being very genuine. He said that this Flash movie is the greatest superhero movie he's ever seen. That's James Gunn's testimony about this movie. Other than that, I literally don't care, and I will not go to the theaters to see it.
If it's a great story,
I'll wait until it's on Max, which, by the way, HBO Max changed its name to Max.
I don't give a shit.
I don't give a shit either. I just like
it's something to mention. I don't understand why they can't. Flash is obviously going to show up in the next iteration of DC cinema.
Hopefully played by someone less problematic.
Well, yeah, but why not save the story? If it's the best DC movie you've ever seen, you could make it again.
True.
I know that sounds shitty, but
can I fan cast the Flash in the James Gunn verse?
Yeah.
Flash should be played by Grant Gustin, the guy who plays him in the TV show.
Sure.
The end. He's way better than that asshole from the Justice League movie.
I think I want to quickly go over our weeks because I had 2 stories, and I've got a good one that can tie us in real well here. Today, Pauline had a job interview, and it went really well.
Nice.
Hopefully she's going to be working a lot closer and more consistent hours.
Well, and it sounds like normal hours,
yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. While she was doing that, I was at Grant Gustin is such a good Flash. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. That's the person I just mentioned.
I was at Ye Old Comic Shop while she was doing that. And I bought Mantis.
They made her interview in person?
Yeah.
What year is it?
Well, that's what I said. We were waiting at home. And she was like, "Oh, my interview's at 12:30." I was like, "Cool." And she was like, "Do you want to come with me? We can get lunch." And I was like, "What?" I was like, "What do you mean? Go with you?"
The perfect response.
So I went to Ye Old Comic Shop and I bought Mantis, but who was the Mantis Legends figure? But who was next to Mantis? But Kang, and he looked great.
Oh no!
And I was sitting there, and I know the people at this comic shop, and I went up to the register, and I was like, "I don't know, man. I was like, do I buy it? Because, for one, it's gonna be a collectible. They're not making another fucking Kang figure if he's found guilty. But two, I'm gonna have Kang's gonna be the next big bad. I want a Kang figure.
Here's my well. First of all, did you buy it?
I bought Mantis. I did not buy Kang yet.
So, question for you. Let's say you bought it. Let's say he is found guilty and they recast. There's a new Kang Legends figure. Would you buy? Because I know you don't like to double up. I know you like to have one of each character. In that case, would you have bought both? And
probably, and I probably would sell him. And you can only hope that it's going for substantial money because that's the only iteration of that Kang figure there will ever be.
Yeah.
Or I might save him in hopes that number goes up.
Yeah.
That is exactly what I would do with that figure. The other thing too is Doctor Strange, for the longest time until the new Doctor Strange movie, had one Marvel figure, and he was going for astronomical amounts of money. Yeah.
From which movie?
The first Doctor Strange movie. That's the only one.
Did they not make a? I thought they made a winter coat from Far From Home version of not Far From Home, No Way Home.
I'm sorry, that they didn't make it for the new one. They made it for
That's the new one that I'm talking about.
The next figure they made was him in that, and it was regular Doctor Strange. I have a regular Doctor Strange from No Way Home.
He's not wearing the
There might be an iteration like that. That's not the one that I have.
Yeah.
But I can only imagine they make this Kang figure, right? That's probably going to be the only Kang figure that's made until that Avengers movie comes out, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So the question is, do I get it now, enjoy it for 5 years, and then they make another one, then I can make the decision then, or do I not get it now, not have any Kang figure, and then look online to see that it's going for like $500 in box because some asshole bought it when they shouldn't.
Yeah. What's a good thing about Kang is that in the comics, Kang doesn't always look the same. He doesn't always have the same face. They kind of already fucked that up with that one after the credit scene from Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
There is an infinite multiverse, though.
Right.
That's only a handful of Kangs in the grand scheme of things that we saw.
I mean, that crowd shot really fucked him.
That's still compared to Infinity.
No, I know.
And beyond.
Okay. I don't know about that one. I don't think there's a Kang in that universe. Or
yeah, there is. He's at the comic shop. Do you want to go see him?
Oh my god. Okay. See, here's where it's all fucky because you're making a joke about there's a toy Kang.
Yeah.
I was referring to the universe of Lightyear, which is not the Toy Story universe.
Right.
Whatever.
It's a movie within the Toy Story universe.
No, it's the Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I thought it was the story. Okay. I feel like there's one question, and I'm going to ask it, and it's just a simple yes or no. In the universe of the movie Lightyear, did toys come to life?
No.
Okay. That's all I need to do.
Okay, that's fine.
I don't care anything else.
I have second story about today, about going to said interview.
Okay.
This
all happened today?
Yeah.
Oh, hell. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Man, you guys have such interesting days.
I'm sorry.
I get up 4.5 minutes before I have to clock into work.
I'm sorry.
No, I don't get it. It's not your fault.
We're driving on the way to our interview.
Yeah.
And for the first time in a very long time, I pulled an on the road. I almost got into an accident, and it was my fault. Actually, it was somebody we know's fault, and I'm going to get into that at the end of this story.
Oh, okay.
So I pull out into traffic. This person must have been speeding because I looked. They were like way down there. I look this way. This person goes. We know this person. This person. We'll get into that.
Okay.
That person goes. I say, okay. Then I go, and they're right here.
Oh.
And I slam on my brake, and she's like bitching me out. I can't hear a word she's saying. but like we didn't make contact. The person who's right there.
I thought you meant Pauline.
No, and I'm literally just like, okay, I know, I'm sorry, I know. And then I make the turn, and I see in my rearview mirror, she's like pulled off to the side, and I'm like, we didn't touch.
Yeah.
Like that's what you do when you get into a car accident.
Right.
And she's gets out and she's checking her car, and I like make a U-turn. I pull around, I pull up next to her, and I'm like, ma'am, I'm really sorry, but you know we didn't actually connect. And she was like, yeah, but it was like this close. And I was like, but you know we didn't connect, right?
Yeah.
So why did you stop? We didn't touch.
Right.
I can promise you that.
Yeah.
It was just weird.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I am sorry. I hope you have a good day. And I left. But I was just like, that's a little dramatic. I fucked up. But like, why did you make a show of it? We didn't. It was a close call.
Yeah.
I acknowledge it was a close call, but it was a close call. You don't need to get out of your car. Nothing happened. We both screeched our tires, our brakes a little bit, and we move on. Nobody touched each other. Like it was obvious.
Yeah.
Isn't that like kind of an overreaction?
I'm trying to put myself in her shoes. Maybe she simply wanted to catch her breath and calm herself down, and to expedite that, she checked on her car just to reassure what she already knew, which was her car was totally fine.
I guess.
That would explain her response to you when you were like, but we didn't touch, though.
Yeah.
Like
I guess.
I think she was just like startled, spooked, and wanted to like just be sure.
That's fair. Now, let me explain to you. Now I'm going to tell stories the way you love to. Let me tell you the beginning of this tale.
Fuck you. What the fuck? What the goddamn fuck did I do? Eat shit. It's a good storytelling model.
Oh, I thought you didn't like it.
What do you mean?
Starting halfway and then going back to the beginning.
Oh, no, I don't care about that. I hate flashbacks where there's no
what you
tension.
hate. Right.
I thought you were referring to the fact that I like to bury the lead in storytelling.
No.
Oh,
for some
okay.
reason, I had it in my head. I was like, he hates when this happens.
No, I just don't like flashbacks, and it's really a curve because you can do a good flashback. Perfect example, Fear Street. Like 70% of Fear Street, when you take all three movies into consideration, is flashbacks. They're done really well because you don't know what's going to happen. But like the fucking Wonder Woman movie, fuck off. The whole movie's a flashback, and I never, at any point, no matter what, am going to feel that like frightened that Wonder Woman is in danger.
Yeah. Because
I know she's not, because she's in Batman vs. Superman.
Right.
And she was at the beginning of this movie, where she started to tell the tale of like, it's just.
It could be a different universe. Anyways.
What?
Could be a Wonder Woman from a different universe.
Oh, it isn't though.
No, I know. So this tale begins with me at the stop sign. So I'm at the stop sign, and a car goes past, takes a left off the street. And then I say, okay, it's my turn. There's a line of cars. There's a line of cars here. We take turns. That's the polite thing to do. So I start to inch out a little bit, and then this car starts coming, and I say, oh, hey, it's Uncle Henry. It's okay that he cut me off. And I wave, and he, like, clearly doesn't tell that it's me. I think he thinks I'm, like, upset that I cut him off, and he's like, and just drives off. And I'm just immediately in my head, like, do I text him that was me? And that's my thought as I step on the gas to take my turn finally. And as I take my turn, a car just comes right here, and I'm like, oh, shit!
For context, Uncle Henry is my uncle. I guess that's the end of the context.
So I would have been sending Henry the bill. You cut me off, therefore I got into a car accident.
Well, it also
he didn't cut me off.
It also sounds like this lady was going way too fast.
That's what
you made it sound like.
I'm usually pretty good at this shit. Because it's a long stretch of road.
Well, you're not on the highway. You're not.
No, I'm exit. No, these are side streets.
Okay,
and
okay.
I could sit here and explain it. You know what street I'm talking about. I'm not going to explain it.
Yeah, it's fine.
But like I can see for like a mile and a half down this way, and she's an ant, right?
Yeah.
Henry does his fucking shit. And I'm like, all right, it's my turn because they're a million miles away. It's my turn. You guys can wait. I let 2 cars go. Now it's my turn.
Yeah.
I get out there and she's just right here.
Yeah.
So yeah, it seemed to me like she was going really fucking fast. But Henry did have the right of way. It would have been courteous to take turns and let the other car go.
Right.
I'm going to assume he was in a rush. I just thought it was hysterical. That was some like Pulp Fiction, like how the stories like intertwine. And now like the way that works is we just saw the end of like Henry just had a crazy ass morning. That was the end of his storyline and the start of me and Pauline's for the day.
The only way this story gets better is if like I'm now able to somehow take it further back. Like, but what you don't know is that I was actually hanging out with my uncle
that morning.
and I caused him to be late or some shit.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Great. Cool.
But, yeah, I was just like, for a minute, I was just like I said, even though he went in front of me, I was just kind of like in a moment of like, oh, that's cool. That was Henry. I should like tell him I'm the one who he was pissed at or thought I was pissed at him for a minute. He obviously didn't like look at me and Pauline.
Right,
he knew it wasn't
right.
us. But I just thought that was a funny little tidbit to this story of I was distracted cuz your uncle. So
well, there it is. There he is. And there he was.
Yeah.
May I briefly talk
Yeah,
about
of course.
I
wasn't going to do mine and not let you do yours.
Well, and this will be short because I know I say this a lot. I didn't do much this week. That was completely intentional because I did a lot the last couple weeks between D&D and PAX East and Anime Boston. I did watch a movie, and I think I might have even mentioned... Oh, sorry. First of all, quick update. Last time we had a podcast, I was talking about Marvel Snap and my rank in Marvel Snap. What did I say I was at last time?
40?
No, I think I had just reached 65.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. I am now sitting pretty at 75.
Fuck yeah.
I really struggled in the 60s.
And you still have a whole month.
No, I have a whole week and a half.
Oh, okay.
I think I hit my limit with my Silver Surfer deck. I did change to a different deck to get me to 75. My issue with the game right now that I'm this high in the rankings, is that I lovingly crafted this Silver Surfer deck from my own brain, and most of the time from the 10s to the 50s. Most of the time it wins. Every time it wins, I'm like, yeah, hell yeah. And sometimes I lose, and I'm like, oh well, can't win them all. Now that I'm 65 plus, I'm in that area where you get to in all card games where it's just like, I tried really hard for this Silver Surfer deck, but you won because you played Wong Hazmat. I could have played Wong Hazmat. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you played Wave Galactus Null, and you won, because obviously you did, because you played those 3 cards in that order. Seems like you just looked that up on the internet.
Right.
The way
well, that's the issue you and I have with engined card games. How do we want to? Yeah, deck engine card games is, it really comes down to who can look up and afford the best deck.
Well, it's interesting you bring that up because this
you can't do that with this game,
yes,
right?
You can, and I did.
Oh, all right.
It goes a step further because all these people use Galactus. Galactus is like the biggest. It's like the last card you unlock, right? In the progression, it's like the best card in the game. I got it. So I was like, fuck it. I'll look up a Galactus deck. And I did. And guess what? It's got a 50% win rate. And it sucks because either people at the level I'm at know I'm going to play Galactus when they see me play like the setup for Galactus, or I beat them so thoroughly with Galactus that they forfeit. And I win technically, but now I only get 2 points instead of 8. So it's got an average of 2 crystals and an average of 50% win. And I was like, hey, wow, this fucking deck sucks and I'm not having fun. I'm going to go back to my MODOK deck. Like, it's...
Well, I wonder if there's any way you could mod it slightly so that it's a little better than... Like, I wonder if you found, like, Galactus deck atypical in like if there's a way to mod it
No,
even
no
more?
matter what I do, if I play Galactus, I'm gonna at least 50% of the time I'm gonna definitely 100% win this match and force a retreat. And I don't want to do that because then I don't get a lot of points. I get 2 points, and it's not fun. And it's also not fun. This game's really fun, and I'm learning that playing Galactus is not fun. Worth the in-game currency I spent on it. Saved up specifically for Galactus. But I'm probably not going to be using him much. I watched a movie that I've never seen before. I watched Hellraiser.
Okay.
Have you seen that movie?
I don't think so.
Okay. Did you know there are 12 Hellraiser movies?
Oh, nice.
As far as I could tell, most of them are schlocky B movies, like even more schlocky than the really shitty Nightmare on Elm Street movies. Like we're talking literally like B movie cameras, B movie cast, shit like that. Apparently the second one and the third one are really, really good. I did watch the first one because I wanted to. The first one was not what I expected at all. And I'm not saying that on like it was way more gory or it wasn't as scary. It was just not the movie I expected. Because from what I know about this, there's the puzzle box and they open it, and when they open it they summon Hellraiser dude, who's I guess in the later movies called Pinhead. You've seen this character.
Yeah.
You summon him. He's like a sex demon.
Okay.
And they're called Cenobites. They don't distinguish between pain and pleasure. So you essentially like open the puzzle box so they'll come help you have sex better, but then they kill you because they it's kind of like that. And that definitely happens in the movie, but that's like 10% of the whole movie. This movie was formatted so it was just so the movie starts, dude gets the puzzle box, opens it, summons Pinhead and Pinhead's friends who were kind of like way cooler than him, but whatever. And then he gets killed. Then the movie starts. And it's this couple moving into a house. The couple have like a history with this character that we saw at the beginning, but you don't know that at first. Long story short, something happens, and this character who was killed at the beginning is coming back to life slowly. So literally, like, he's a weird skeleton thing with some flesh, but it can talk. And it's like, lady, you know me, remember it's me. Seduce men, bring them to this room, I'll kill them, and I'll become more human. That's the whole movie, is that. He, like, next time he's got a little more flesh. Now he's, like, a full skeleton with some meat on it. And it's like, it's really good effects. It's practical effects. It's a different, like, makeup each time.
Yeah.
And then the last 10 minutes of the movie, daughter of the dude figures it out and, like, teams up with Pinhead, and she's like, he's coming back to life, he escaped you. And they're like, nah, bitch, we'll get him, don't worry. And that's it. That was the whole, like, I'm not kidding, like, a majority of the movie was the, like, dude slowly coming back to life. And it was gory for sure. I'm not quite sure if it was scary. Like, everything I saw about this movie was like I read something, I think it was the description of the second one that was like the sequel to the Touchstone Clive Barker movie that changed the face of horror films forever. And I'm just sitting here like, it was okay. Like, it managed to be super grotesque and also incredibly boring. It was just such a weird movie. I'm going to watch the second one for sure. If that one's also weird, I might not finish them because it sounds like they get pretty bad before they get good again. And I don't know if I'm willing to do that to myself again, especially since there's 12 Hellraiser movies. That's a lot. Although I will say I was doing some research. One of them seems like it gets a little off the rails. I think it's the fifth one. I forget.
So that's their Jason Goes to Space?
Jason Goes to Space is like top 3 Jason movies. That movie kicks ass.
Oh, I'm not saying it kicks ass or not. I'm just saying it's bonkers that happened.
This is absolutely their Jason X, because the way this movie works is it takes place in the real world, and a bunch of gamers play an MMO based off of the real Hellraiser movies. Their friends start to die, so they get invited to this dude's house and he like knows the real Pinhead or some shit. I haven't watched it. I just read a synopsis. But the crazy thing about this movie is that the two main characters are Catherine Winnick and Henry Cavill, the guy who plays Superman, and the guy whose house they go to is played by fucking Lance Henriksen, the robot from the Alien movies.
Oh.
And I was just like, really? Really? The one where they go inside an MMO or whatever the fuck this game is about has that much star power in it? Hold on, let me check. Oh, it's got a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes, and it's got Henry Cavill in it? Okay, sure, whatever. It just sounds like Hellraiser became like the Wild West of like, we just gotta make more.
Yeah.
The first one was weird, and I don't recommend it, but if the second one's good, maybe I'll talk about that.
I might check them out because I've never gotten into. I always imagined Hellraiser being something like that shitty '90s Spawn movie.
No, that shitty '90s Spawn movie, which by the way has John Leguizamo in it.
Oh yeah.
It that movie is like, I know what you mean. That movie is like, it has its moments, but it's like real campy, and you can tell that someone was like, no, it must be practical effects. And who knows if that was a good idea or not. The Hellraiser movie, the one that I watched, the first one, just called Hellraiser, had really, really good effects and makeup. Super great. Everything looked great. The story was boring. The writing was a little off, and the characters weren't memorable, and it seems like they go in a different direction, because apparently, I read this too, apparently the idea was to make Daughter from the first movie the main focus, and she was going to encounter other things.
Oh, okay.
But fans latched on to Pinhead so much, who, by the way, isn't even called Pinhead. He's credited in the subtitles call him Pinhead, but in the credits he's just called Lead Cenobite.
Okay.
So he wasn't even like a thing yet. They focused more on him, and then classic horror movie situation where then the guy who played Pinhead went on to play him like 7 or 8 more times until after the 8th one they were like, we're gonna reboot it, and he's like, I'm there for that. And then they made 2 other ones that weren't that reboot, and he's like, what's happening? I'm out. Fuck it, I'm out. And now the new Pinhead is like some sexy lady, I think, in the new
oh really
Hulu original. Yeah, the new Pinhead's hot. I don't think she's called new Pinhead, but yeah, she's great.
Is that movie what those things in Rick and Morty are based off of?
What things?
He keeps making them hang out with Jerry because they love the pain of hanging out with Jerry.
Oh, possibly. Maybe. I don't think so, though.
Okay.
But it wouldn't be the first time that they did that. Like, Scary Terry is obviously supposed to be Freddy Krueger.
Yeah.
In, I think, my favorite joke in Rick and Morty history. It's just so raw and so funny. It's like the quintessential example of like, Morty's just a kid. And that's what I love about Scary Terry. But yeah, I don't know about that. But yeah, weird movie. I'm definitely gonna watch the second one because everyone says it's way better. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that movie. And I was talking to my dad about it, and my dad was like, "Yeah, Clive Barker is weird." I was like, "I can tell." Clive Barker's one of those people who like he wrote one book and then he was like, "I could do everything." So he's like, if you look on Wikipedia, it's like Clive Barker, American writer, director, producer, publicist. Like he's just done everything, and it's like Also, Hellraiser's based off a book that he wrote like a year prior, and there's 3 Hellraiser books, but the first one came out in like 86 and the second one came out in like 93 or something.
Oh, okay.
And the newest one is from 2017 or something like that. I don't know. I didn't like Hellraiser, I guess is what I'm getting at. But I'm going to watch the second one cuz it seems like the second one might be more of what I was looking for, which is like another like Friday the 13th or Nightmare on Elm Street type situation. Also, the 10th one, another movie that has a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes, has Heather Langenkamp in it. That's the wrong series. She's the main character from Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Sure, do whatever you want. Fuck it. There's no one's watching. Literally no one's watching. So you could do whatever you want. But Hellraiser's back, I guess. The new movie's just called Hellraiser, and it's got a new Pinhead, and she's hot. And it's a Hulu exclusive, I think. Yeah. I don't know, man. It was weird, but I watched it, and I really wanted to talk about it because I was just like, I don't know what I was expecting. It was not that, though. But I think that's going to do it for us. Thank you for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe.
Our channel has daily uploads from podcast video essays, Let's Plays to skits.
Be sure to watch on Twitch. We stream all our video game and podcast content live at 5 EST every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday.
Our intro is by Brad Kendrick and music by Froggy and the Friendship. Link to all that in the description below.
Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.